Now, when you think of the place that you grew up in, the memories can be a bit of a mixed bag. Aurelia-born musician Nate Mills wanted to channel those emotions into his latest EP entitled Amigo Drive. Now, you might know him from being a lead member of the group Run with the Kittens, but he's here today to talk about his solo work, and he's this week's Sounds Like Here feature artist, and he joins me in studio now. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you feeling, working on solo music as somebody who's been in a band?
I'm kind of the principal writer in the band I'm in, and so there's no difference in terms of writing the material. This material just didn't fit with that band. It's too emotional. It's too many feelings, and frankly, the boys are uncomfortable with those feelings. And so they said, take these songs and do something else with them, burden somebody else with them. And so, yeah, going solo. I mean, it's the inevitable trajectory, right? To just, So, I'm enjoying it. I really am. And I've been with Run with the Kittens a long time, and we've never been on the CBC. And so, I think going solo is the right move.
Okay, you named the EP after this road. Tell me about this road in Aurelia.
Yeah, it's a real place. Amigo Drive does exist. It's just outside of Aurelia. My dad, in the 80s, built a series of houses there. He's kind of a hothead. And he had his ragtag crew of kind of ex-cons, and they would just, throw these houses up pretty quick, and but quality. He was on the site one day, and the radio was playing and playing and playing. He was like, turn down the radio, I can't focus, and they wouldn't do it. And in a fit of frustration, he went over and just slammed his hammer through the radio. And that was kind of, I wasn't there for that, but that was kind of just this story that, that image always stuck in my head of just... I don't know. I don't know why that resonated, but it came up decades later in the opening line of the title track of this EP. So
you're diving into stories you've heard, but also memories. What has Aurelia meant to you growing up?
Aurelia was a fun place to grow up. You had to make a lot of your own fun. My friend and I would make little movies and stuff growing up, and I wrote a song called the Aurelia Song, actually. I love Aurelia so much. And it's kind of an honest take on the Sunshine City, and really honest take, too honest. It's a brutal critique, but it's really funny, I think. And but such a critique that the city really actually commissioned somebody to write another Aurelia song that was better light. So when you went online and searched Aurelia song, that one came up instead. But still the original prevails, and Aurelia was great. I got a lot of inspiration from Aurelia. Just a lot of characters, and small town characters. But then you move to the city, and there's big city characters too. I don't know. There's inspiration everywhere, I guess. But Aurelia was just a nice, fun little place to get out of.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting to the audience in Aurelia listening right now. They might take issue with that.
No, they love it.
When you're talking about, making films, tapping into your creativity growing up, what were some of these films about?
This was something I did with my good friend Tyler Grace. It was something we called Teabag and Bonkers. You can actually go on YouTube and watch these videos. They still exist. They're really pixelated, and I'm much younger, but they were just, again, make your own fun. He didn't play music, so we passed video camera back and forth and would just do these, little shorts, really kids in the hall kind of inspired stuff.
Okay.
That kind of comedy, irreverent, kind of surreal stuff. And but we'd just go into his mom's closet and pilfer her sports coats and stuff, and just dress up and make these things. And eventually, that culminated into an hour and a half's worth of material. We rented at the theater in Aurelia and had a film bonanza and showed it all off. And so the acting bug's still there. I have a movie. Listen to this, everybody. Brace yourselves. I'm a lead in a feature indie film for the first time in my life. Look at that. Are you proud of me?
All right. We'll see. I barely know you yet, but let's get to know you more. Humor, it's clear, but just this conversation, but also from your work with your band and what you're describing as some of your other creative pursuits. But this album, it doesn't scream humor when you're just listening to it. Tell me about the pivot, because I'm talking to somebody who's cracking jokes but this doesn't feel like a joke.
Yes, it's not. You're right. These songs are kind of born out of the pandemic. A lot of them. I pick up the gut string guitar, and I just started writing songs differently on it. It was a guitar I borrowed from a friend, and I would just kind of sit and play, and then I would sit and kind of play my daughter to sleep, and with some of these melodies and chords. And then I guess just being a dad, and then being, playing your daughter, and then thinking about, when I was a kid, and then my relationships, and this full circle kind of moment. And then and the material kind of like started to come out of this, like, reflection, and yeah, just seeing life through the lens of a parent and a fully formed adult. And yeah, it really does come from, I think that's also, sometimes why I struggle, because I play these songs live, and they are very, they're vulnerable and they're touching kind of songs, and then but I get uncomfortable with how real it is, or how serious everyone's being, and then I have to immediately, kind of joke with it. But so this new album and this new direction is almost an exercise in becoming more comfortable with just me, and not having to use humor as like a handshake every time, or a defense or something. It's there's options now, and exploring this is I don't know. I think it's just an interesting path to go down.
You're being vulnerable without the irony. Like you're not using humor.
There's no
kind of
wink.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, here you go. Is
that scary for you?
Yeah, it's vulnerable. It is scary. And I'm only coming to that realization right now. How much do I owe you for this hour? No, but really, yeah, it is I honestly, I think maybe that's why this is kind of resonating with people more so than some other endeavors, because, yeah, there's just some real, I don't know, feelings and thoughts and emotions behind it that I guess that have just been, yeah.
What made you want to do that? Because, I mean, when I heard about you, Mark was describing your work, and I was looking you up online, and I was like, oh, this is a funny guy. And then I hear the album, and I was like, whoa, this is totally different. Like, this is a whole other dimension of you that you're putting out there than what I've seen of you. How do you make the decision to make such a big pivot?
The idea of going solo, the nature of the material, it wasn't so thought out. It wasn't like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write an introspective record about my childhood and my father. And it was just kind of like, a song would kind of come out of me while I'm putting Minnie down. And then, then you kind of amass this collection of songs. And then, when it's time to pluck 5 or 6 out for the EP, all of a sudden there's this theme that starts to present itself, and then all of a sudden, I have this kind of, it seems like a hard pivot, but it's more of a natural kind of progression. But I can see how it's a hard pivot for people that weren't there for the process, that are like you're saying, you see the online stuff, and then you hear the thing, and you're like, did this guy even write this? Is this the same,
I can tell it's you. I can tell that it's a different version of yourself that maybe you're not used to sharing with audiences.
If that comes through, that's exactly right. Yeah, that is accurate.
Let's get specific here. Compared to that Comedy Forward, we've talked about the emotional piece. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the opening song, Aging Out. Some of the lyrics here I have, I miss having a neck. Mm-hmm. How has comedy helped you navigate it, even though you haven't completely let go of it?
Comedy is a great, I think an opening line of a song is important, and I think that if it's brash, or if there's something about it that isn't poetic, that it's just kind of right on its face, I think that's effective. And I think comedy is a great kind of medium for that, of smack, and so I'm getting older, I'm looking at pictures of myself 10 years ago, and then I'm looking in the mirror and go, what happened to that bit of neck I used to have? And I thought, well, I can't be the only guy or person looking in the mirror thinking this. And so it's like, well, I'm gonna write a relatable song about aging.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good start. And so comedy just, it helps with little sugar makes the medicine go down.
Well, we started talking about Amigo Drive. We're going to play that track now in 15 seconds or less. What else do you want people to know?
August 16th at the Paradise Theater, you can come see me acting in Jingle Man, the movie, indie rom-com shot here in Toronto. Amigo Drive is streaming everywhere right now, but if you're really nice, you go to Bandcamp. It's on Bandcamp. And the record's available at the beloved Cameron House. And check out my social media, Nate Mills. I'm on Instagram, and natemills.ca. And that's about all the plugs I have.
Great. That's Nate Mills. He's our featured artist this week for our segment Sounds Like Here. Here's the title track from his latest EP. This is Amigo Drive.